Hey, y'all, it's Krystal Hunsucker. Happy Magnanimous Monday. Welcome to your $1,000,000 message, and you're just going to have to deal with my voice sounds a little bit scratchy today. I almost totally lost my voice, but got a little bit back. So I'm so happy to be sharing with you today. And first, I have to tell you, we had our fall retreat this weekend, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And, there's just moments in your business when God shows up. But I got to tell you, for God to show up, you've got to show up. So I want to encourage you to fill yourself with the right things, surround yourself by the right people, and choose to be at the right events. Because I can tell you, because I was where I was supposed to be, God really confirmed some things for me in my life and in my business. And so I wanted to share that first with you. I also have to give a huge, ginormous, magnanimous shout out to the fantastic, amazing, incredible, inspiring, beautiful, inside and out, phenomenal, brilliant National Sales Director Tammy Craig. She was absolutely phenomenal. She was our guest this weekend, and I've never been so blown away when she shared about her mental bath. If you don't know about it, check it out, Tammy Craig and mental bath, and the H is for hotline, and she just touched my head and said, this is the hotline, the $1,000,000 message that not only she listens to every single day of the week, but that also she passes on for her area to listen. So I cannot even describe to you how humbling that was, that, the pressure, I like the good pressure of always being excellent, always being my best to share what I can share with you to help you to be better, but that a top national, a 3-time $1,000,000 director when she was a director, number one in the world $1,000,000 director when she was a director, would pass on the $1,000,000 message to her area has just really blown me away. So, Tammy, if you're listening today, I cannot describe how much I love you and appreciate you and your entire area and what they do to bring greatness out of you. So, with that said, I want to share a phenomenal message. I gave you guys a little bit. I really didn't even give you a teaser. I just told you, make sure you're on next Monday, because I have a really great message that some of these things you've heard before, but hopefully I am believing and praying that they are going to fall on open ears, on an open heart, and an open mind, and with your eyes wide open today. And I don't know if you've ever heard this, but there are certain kinds of fish, and you're going to have to excuse me because I may have to cough a little bit during our call, so I apologize. Excuse me. And also, if you hear anything, I'm actually sitting tonight. I decided to raise my garage. I'm like doing a little shiny ball for a second. I just want to give you a little bit of a picture. So, I record my call now at my garage so that it won't cut out. And I'm sitting in the back of my car. I have the hatch opened with my garage open, and it just started pouring down rain. So, to be honest with you, it is so beautiful because the sun hasn't quite set. So it's still light outside, but there's this just beautiful pouring down rain. And you know what? I'm just going to stop right there, and I'm just going to take this moment. I feel like that this is just the supernatural is coming into the natural, that there is somebody somewhere that needed to hear this, and that if it rains where you are today, that God is supernaturally pouring blessings over your life, that he is doing more than you expected, that the rain is pouring on you in the best way possible, in the most positive way possible, that if the rain needed to wash away bad, he's washing away the bad, and he's bringing brilliant good things over your life and over your business, and I speak that over you. I believe that for you. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. I just had to do that with this rain coming in. So I heard this message, and so anyways, back to the fish. There are certain kinds of fish that if you put them in an aquarium, they stay as small as the aquarium. I mean, basically, they're only going to grow to a certain size because this aquarium is keeping them the size that they are. But if you put them in a large body of water, they will grow bigger and better than they ever could have if they were kept in an aquarium. And so that's what I want you to do with your brain today. That's what I want you. I want you to pop the rubber band off of your thinking, off of your brain today. Just literally let that fall off and excite you and get you to a different way of thinking today. So how do you start going after your dream? And one of the things that I shared this weekend at our fall retreat is I truly believe I truly, truly have bought into this, that October, November, and December are going to be your best months of the year of 2019. If you had a great year, you better get to work, because I'm saying it over you. I've had that spoken over me, so I feel like that I have the right and the ability and the honor to speak that over you. But that I also really believe that 2020 has 15 months. So you're like, 15 months? Krystal, there's only 12 months in a year. But we're in the springboard moment. We are in the moment of this year that we've got to use October and November and December to catapult us, to excite us in to this next year. So we're going to talk a little bit about really having the dream come true that you have been wanting to come true, and staying the course and doing the things that you need to do to make those dreams happen. So I'm going to try to be quick now that I've already wasted about 6 minutes. So here we go. I'm going to be fast. Number one, start with a blank page. You've got this blank page, and when you see nothing, that is going to literally visually mean that you expect nothing. It even says in the Bible, without a vision, you will perish. You've got to have a vision. So today I am challenging you to make a vision board. Where are you going? That's what we're doing tonight in my home. I have a vision board for Becca, for Boone, for Brad, and for myself, that we are going to be making vision boards. And I know I've told this before, but just like if you were in your car driving down the road and this rain that I'm watching right now started falling down on your car, if you were driving and you didn't have windshield wipers, your vision would be impaired and you wouldn't be able to go anywhere, right? So we've got to make sure that our vision is not impaired, and you become what you behold, giving yourself permission to dream. You've got to give yourself permission to dream. Now, the best way to start with your vision, and I apologize if I told this story before. I can't remember if I told it or not, but there's this story of somebody went to Will Smith's house, and he had this huge glass wall of index cards. So if I've told this before, you need to hear it again. But he had this huge wall of index cards, and he had all these cards up on this wall. And, the guy that was in his house said, "What is this? It looks like a mess." And he said, "Well, I'm actually putting together my next script, my next movie, my next thing I'm conquering." And he looked at it and he said, "That looks like a mess." And he said, "It is." And he goes, "Well, how in the world? Where do you know where to start?" And Will Smith looked at him and says, "That's easy. You start at the end." So what is it that you need to put on your vision board that's your end result? What is it that in the end of all things that you want? Put that, start there, and that's what will accumulate what you need to put on that vision board. Number two, use your imagination. It all begins on the inside before it happens on the outside. You could say things like, "Oh, I could never live in a house as big as that on that hill." When you say things like that, you're saying, "God, you will never." Whoa. Like, "Oh, I could never." Like, I have a best friend that has the most amazing house on the planet, and she literally has a $1 million pool in the back of her multi-million-dollar house. And I've even said in my head, "Oh gosh, I could never have a $1 million pool like that." And so what I just told God is, God just looked at me and said, "Well, then you never will." Whoa. Like, what is it that you are speaking out loud when you are using your imagination or limiting your imagination, saying that you'll never have? And God is speaking back to you. Well, if you say you'll never have it, then you're right. That's what Mary Kay always said. If you think that, then you're right. So let's stop telling God we'll never do something, and let's think bigger. Number three, you've got to put the pen to the paper. The faintest ink is stronger than the fondest memory. You've got to write things down. One of the systems that I have in place for my family is right now I've saved in my notes, I have an entire note called Boone Says. And every single thing since Boone not necessarily could talk, but could really have his own thoughts and his own process, when he started saying things, you guys know what I'm talking about. Whether you have kids or not, you've been around kids. And kids, there's a show called Kids Say the Darndest Thing for a reason. So what I did was I've written down every single thing since 2017 when Boone really started talking. called Boone Says. My favorite Boone Says today, because Boone is totally a daddy's boy. Like, if it's like me and Brad standing by each other with open arms, he's going to go to Brad. So I am determined that Beckham is going to be a mama's boy. I'm just determined. And you guys, I'm so bad. I literally say all the time to Beckham, all I say is, ma, ma, ma. I haven't even said da, da, da. Some of you think I'm horrible, and some of you guys are laughing because you know what I'm talking about. But the bottom line is the thing that Boone said last night while I was at my fall retreat is that Beckham was being a little fussy, and finally Boone looks at his dad and goes, Daddy, I think he needs his mama. I think he needs his mommy. I think that's what he wants. And I'm like, yes, he does, because he's going to pick me. But anyway, so I have those things written down, though, because he may have said that last night, but let's be honest. 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, I'm not going to remember all of the adorable things that Boone says. And the thing is that things can't happen when you don't write it down. It even says in the Bible, in Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2, write the vision. Write the vision. Don't just think it, ink it. 98% of people who write their goals down are more likely to do it. Mic drop. Number 4. Oh, one more. Every time I write it, I believe it even more. On the top of every single page that I have, I always write a goal or a dream or the word I have for this year. So right now, everything I'm writing down is intentional. And every time I write it, I believe it more, that I'm going to be more intentional. That's my word for the year. And so every notebook that I have, that gets written on the top of it. So number 4, express your dreams in pictures. You know, our mind thinks in pictures, not letters and not words. So you could read something in words all day long, but you've got to have pictures of it. Our spirit and mind think. When you see those pictures, make it happen. So when you look at it, you're thinking, make it happen. So keep it before your eyes. Do you have your vision board? You know, tonight we're making vision boards with my family, but I'm going to take a picture of it, and then I'm going to plaster that thing in my car. When I go to the bathroom, by my mirror where I wash my face and brush my teeth, you know, it's got to go everywhere because you see your dream in pictures. And I can promise you, one of the best vision boards I've ever made, I'm going to be honest, I sometimes forget to do it, and it's been years. I'm just being honest with you guys. I love to be real with y'all. I have not made a vision board in years. I'm embarrassed to say that. But, you know, I've been in one of those seasons where in a lot of areas of my life, I'm like, I have it all, but it's time to have more because I don't want to let good be robber of the best, right? All right, number 5, renew your dreams daily. You guys, this has got to become a consistent thing. Consistently. Never leave without praying for your dreams. Maybe you plaster your dreams on your back door. Don't ignore them, though. That's your moment. The minute you touch the handle of the door to head to your car, that you stop and you say a prayer every single day over your dreams. Maybe you've got to set a timer on your watch to remind you. Do whatever it takes. Number 6, speak to your vision. Listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth. Every time you speak negative words, you are basically snared in a trap. It's not going to help you. And so I just want you to imagine every time you say things like, I'm never going to have $1 million pool, and that's just the way I want it. Or maybe Brad might have said, you know, I don't know if Disney's going to happen this January. I know you're going there for leadership, but we're probably not going to be able to do it. And that's the way I want it. I can tell you that has put a shift in my heart right now for my Mary Kay business, because I am committed, because I don't want to say, and that's the way I want it, not to get to take Boone to Disney. I want to take my kids to Disney every single year while they're little. That is my dream. That is my dream because it is magical to me. It's the best family memory ever for me already with Boone last January, and I want to make it happen every year. So it is pushing me like I have never said and never felt before, you know, or maybe, you know, oh, I'm never going to win a Mary Kay car, and that's just the way I want it. So start tagging that line behind negative things that you're saying And if you want to buy into it, go for it. But I'm hoping it'll push you like it's pushing me. You know, a lot of times people have told me I've let people speak things over me. Oh, when you turn 40, things are going to happen to your body. Or, you know what? I'm not. I'm the healthiest 40-year-old there is. I've got to speak positive declarations over me. Stop the negative and start the positive. Say it every single day. Change what you're saying, and you will change what you are seeing. Call the things that are not as if they are. You've got to see it, you've got to say it, and you've got to speak it. All right? Okay. So next, is number 7, be grateful. Stop looking at what you've lost. Okay, talking to myself, I feel like I can just hang up the phone. Just look at what you have. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. So practice gratitude. It really is a healing versus wholeness. Even, Oprah, one of the most wealthy women in the world, the single most important thing she did every single day that she attributes her success to is writing a grateful list every day. If you want to be successful, be grateful. The more grateful, the more gratitude expressed, the more abundance you are going to experience. So it may be that you just list, I'm not talking spending hours on this, you guys. That's kind of been my hang up about the grateful list, because I do say I'm grateful for a lot of things, but I haven't been writing it down. Do y'all love how real I am? Like, I'm teaching you things that really, I really just do these calls for myself. Just being honest, I feel like that I really just do these calls for myself because it's things that I need to hear. But you know what? Maybe as you're writing the grateful list, you start with a pencil. I'm grateful for this pencil. I can start writing where I want to be. And this eraser. I'm grateful for this eraser because I can erase my past thought processes. Can I get an amen? So let's just start with 3 to 5 things every day. Try that. Be grateful. And number 8, the very last thing, is be extremely committed. I think that's one thing that nobody could ever say that I'm not. I have perseverance. I will not quit. I will have what I want and get to where I want, not at the expense of anything that I love, but I will get there. It may not be on the time I wanted to, but I will get there. Are you that extremely committed? Because it only takes one diet to lose weight, right? The one that you decide to stick with. Is that not the truth? It is just so powerful. We follow maps all the time. We click on our map and we connect it to our cars, and it's a GPS to success. Your map is. And you guys, Mary Kay set up our marketing plan, the steps to success. If you don't have that brochure, get online today. Get on section 2. Get the steps to success and start following it. It is a GPS to success. Your mentors, your director, your leader is a GPS to your success. And so when you are committed, you will live out your dreams. You will, you've just got to stick with one thing. A golf club is just a golf club until it's in Tiger Woods' hand. A pen and paper is just a pen and paper until you add it to Taylor Swift's hands. The only added additional thing to them was commitment. So much commitment that there was nowhere to go except be a success. Think about all the nationals that have the exact same starter kit that you have, or $1 million sales directors that have the exact same starter kit that you have. The only difference between you and them is commitment. Are you ready? Let's go somewhere this year. Let's do something. Because I'm already claiming that it's 2020 because it's a 15-month year for me. I'm just telling you. I want to close with your commitment. Are you thinking big enough? I want you to think kingdom big. Like God is the king of all things. I want you to think as big as God wants you to think. And there was this professional golfer, and he loved golf, and there was a king in Saudi Arabia who loved golf. And so he brought this professional golfer in to come golf with him on some of his beautiful, incredible golf courses in Saudi Arabia. This is a true story, you guys. So after the trip, before the golfer left, he said, I want to give you a gift. What is anything in the world you would want? What is something you would want? I want to give it to you. And he said, oh, King, no. No, you don't need to do anything. This trip has been a dream. I mean, this trip is enough. I got to play with a king, the king of Saudi Arabia, and I got to play golf in some of the most amazing, beautiful golf courses I've ever seen. He goes, no, you've got to tell me something. I have to give you a gift. So he said, well, okay, I mean, I guess I'll take a golf club. So for weeks, when the golfer got home, he expectantly waited to get some box or package in the mail. He thought, oh my gosh, what kind of golf club is he going to send me? Is it going to be made of gold? Is it going to be platinum? Is it going to be covered in jewels or diamonds or precious stones? I mean, this is going to be the neatest golf club. I think I'll get a case for it. I'm going to, put it in my home so that when anyone comes over, they're going to see this golf club that the king of Saudi Arabia gave me. Well, one day, someone knocks on his door. They are not holding a box. They're actually holding a certified letter. And he signs for the letter, and he opens the letter, and he sees that the king has written over the deed to a golf club, like to an entire golf course, a golf club, the whole club. So what I tell you is the kings think differently. I want you to think different like you never have before as we start just springboarding ourselves into 2020. Do you love that? Now, all those things are things that you already know. I know that. But are you actually doing all those things? Because I can promise you, the difference between you and someone who has the success that you want is that they're doing all of those things every single day consistently. Let's be different, guys. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's say, remember that day in October when I heard some things I'd heard before, but I heard them differently, and I decided to act on them and do them consistently. Raise your hand so I can bless you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you. May you know that if God is for you, who can be against you? With God on your side, whom shall you fear? May you be like a tree that is planted by rivers of living water, that your leaf will not wither. And whatsoever you do, say it with me, it shall prosper. Have a magnanimous Monday and an outstanding October. Happy 2020, y'all.